Hey everyone, Ashley Mailloux here with the Daily Racing Form. We're going to take a look at the Coast to Coast Pick 5 for this Saturday, March 18th. Interesting sequence, looking at a lot of turf races in this sequence. It gets kicked off in race number 7 at Gulfstream Park, which is a 5 furlong turf sprint, and a nice allowance optional claiming event. Interesting race. I feel like you either have to use a couple horses or you could really spread in here. Looking at 2-1 in the morning lines, the number 5, Java Buzz. But I have a feeling this horse, based on his record, he likes to get beat. So I went in a different direction. I used the number 1, Nick's Bro, out of the Ralph Nix barn. Thought this horse was very game last time out, trying the turf for the first time. Ended up sitting mid-pack early on and made a nice late move to finish second, beaten by half a length. So I think he can improve second time turf. And then the number 8, Feel the Beat. This is a horse that's going to get Arad Ortiz Jr. once again, who's been aboard this Son of Cupid in the last 2 efforts. I thought he stepped up getting back onto the turf last time. It had been a while since he had been on the grass, and I think he can just kind of move up a bit from there. He could be very tough in this 7th race at Gulfstream Park. So I went light in here, just those 2 runners. We'll move to the 9th race from Gulfstream Park, which is a 1.125 turf event, maiden special weight competition. This is for straight 3-year-olds, and looking at this group, I did spread in here. Started with the number 2, Clever Thought. This one out of the Todd Pletcher barn. Just having that race day experience certainly helps in these maiden special weight events, and I think this one ran very well on debut. Now, that was on the Tapeta, going to get on the turf. I like that move. Had a 79 Buyer speed figure and finished 3rd. The number 4, Missionaire, Christophe Clement. I really respect that the work that he does with maidens second time out, and there's an equipment change here. Blinkers on for the first time. It's another huge angle for the barn. This is a horse that raced at Tampa, and you can see went for that 1.125 maiden special weight event at Tampa and wanted that distance once again. So I do think that's a really big sign from that outfit. And then the number 7, Just for Luck. Now, looking at the field in here, this is one of 2 for trainer Jack Sisterson. I preferred this one. I thought on debut, horse had plenty of excuses and still showed some run in the stretch and can certainly improve second time out. And I think it's an intriguing addition to the barn, and it's not bad to see Luis Saez in the iron. So 3 runners here in the 9th race. We will move to the West Coast, to Santa Anita Park for their 5th race. Very interesting starter allowance. I thought in this field of 8, there were probably 3 horses to consider: the 2, Lady J, the 6, Harper's Gallop, and the 7, Aloha Kitten. I only went with 2 of them, though. The number 2, Lady J, I thought was pretty intriguing, stretching out from 6.5 furlongs to a mile. You kind of go down the page and you look at it. It's been a little bit since she's gone long on the turf, and she has had success going long. So I do like the number 2, Lady J. Also like the number 6, Harper's Gallop, who most recently was able to win at 1.125, was forwardly placed in that turf route. And I don't mind the slight cutback in distance for this one. So those are my 2 in this race. We'll go to Gulfstream Park for their stakes race, the $100,000 Silks Run, which is their 11th race on the program. Looking at the morning line in here, maybe there's a couple others you could consider here in this pick 5, but I went with 2 runners. The number 2, Karatari, who was second last time out in the grade 3 Gulfstream Park turf sprint. Didn't have enough in the lane to get the job done and catch the number 6 in this race. Yes, I Am Free, but I thought it was a good performance, a very strong runner all the time at Gulfstream Park on the grass. And I think Arad Ortiz Jr. climbing aboard, not a bad sign. And the other runner I'll use in here is the number 9, Big Invasion, who's 5-2 on the morning line. Hasn't been seen since that grade 2 effort at Kentucky Downs, where this one made a nice late run to finish 3rd. Just was kind of not going to be able to catch the top 2 in there. Now, this is his first start in a long time, but talk about a consistent horse with some really big numbers. Curious to see what the 4-year-old campaign will look like for the number 9, Big Invasion. To wrap things up, we'll wrap it up at Santa Anita Park in their 7th race, the China Doll. Field of 7 going postward, and I narrowed it down to 2 horses. I think a lot of people will land with the number 7, Comanche Country. Borderline, maybe single potential here. I just felt like horses that were last seen at the Breeders' Cup, they've kind of needed a start, a lot of these fillies and younger horses. So I used this one, but I thought the number 3, the Wild Grazer, maybe a slight edge on that fitness angle, has run very well so far in 2023, and I've liked what we've seen from her so far. So you use both of these horses here in this final leg at Santa Anita Park. We'll take a look at that ticket top to bottom. A $48 ticket. Too deep in most of those legs, but I did spread in that maiden special weight event, that turf route, which is the 2nd leg, Gulfstream Park's race number 9. I did use 3 in there. So as I mentioned, $48. Great wager here. Coast to coast, don't forget $1 minimum, and a low takeout is something that we all appreciate. So best of luck if you're playing this Saturday.